And now officially, good afternoon, everyone in attendance. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you, whether you're joining us here in person or on our live stream, to this historic day, not just for Monmouth University, but for Monmouth Hawks football. The Monmouth University football program is, and has always been, a family. And since August of 1992, that family has had one leader, a man we are all here today to celebrate, Kevin Callahan. The most humble head coach and leader, Coach Callahan has led this program from an independent, non-scholarship team to one that is a force at the highest level of the FCS. And he's done so as so many former players, many who are in attendance today, coaches, administrators, alums, donors, and fans will attest, with class, humility, and a standard of excellence felt not just through the entire campus community, but through the region and the nation. This afternoon, you'll hear from the president of Monmouth University, Dr. Patrick Leahy. You'll hear from the director of athletics, Jen Sansevero. You'll hear from Coach Callahan. And then you'll also hear from the individual who will lead Monmouth football forward, and someone who's been an integral part of this program since his freshman season in the fall of 2000, Coach Jeff Gallo. I now please ask that you help me bring to the podium the president of Monmouth University, Dr. Patrick Leahy.
Forgive me, everyone, if you were waiting on me. Sorry about that. It's about 2 o'clock, isn't it? Anyway, I'm delighted to have all of you here. I see board members and current players and former players and other colleagues here. Thrilled to have all of you here. I thank you, Eddie, for being here, one of the voices of the Hawks. I see the other one up there, my friend Matt Harmon. Between the two of you, nobody's called more basketball and football games and soccer games and field hockey games than you guys, so thrilled to have both of you guys here. This is a special announcement, and if you all follow college football, my guess is that most of you do, every time you turn on the TV, there's another announcement. Here they go again, making another announcement about a new head football coach, right? Have you seen that the way I have? We do it pretty frequently around here too. Every 33 years, we have a new head football coach announcement. So thrilled to have you all here for this. I want to say a quick word about the person who has held the seat for the last 33 years, and then a quick word about the person who's going to hold it for the next 33 years. You'll hear more. You all know Kevin Callahan's the only coach we've ever had. He's built this program from scratch into a nationally competitive program. I think you'll hear more from Jen maybe about all of his, accomplishments as a head football coach, and they're well-deserved. I just want to say a word as the president of the university that had him as the head football coach, that Kevin, I can't thank you enough for the way in which you managed and led the football program. A university president wants, are you taking note, Jeff? The university president wants the football team to be as competitive as possible, to be able to play up and be competitive when we play up, and if possible, to be nationally ranked. But equally important, we want a coach who cares for his players, someone who's developing boys into men, people who will have really stellar careers no matter what they choose to do. A coach who will get his students to, what does Jen say, the most important lineup, the commencement lineup. That's what a university president wants out of a head coach, and nobody exemplifies those attributes like Kevin Callahan. We are 90-some years old as an institution, and Kevin has been the head coach here for a third of our existence, more than a third of our existence. And there's only a handful of people who are synonymous with Monmouth University and everything that we stand for. And Kevin Callahan is one of those individuals. So I just want to, in the company of all these good people, Kevin, I want to thank you for everything that you've done for Monmouth University, not just on the gridiron, but maybe equally importantly, off the field of play and around the community and around the campus. I am deeply, deeply grateful to you. I also want to thank Anne Marie for her years of support of Monmouth. It can't be easy being married to a football coach. Is that right, Kirsten? But I thank you for everything that you have done and the kids have done to support Monmouth. Let me say a quick word about our next coach. Again, you'll hear why he's so qualified. Transitions are never easy. But this is about the easiest transition in the history of collegiate athletics, I'd like to think. Here we have right on the staff someone who played for Coach Callahan, someone who has 2 degrees, not 1, but 2 degrees from Monmouth, someone who has been on the sidelines making Coach Callahan as successful as he has been for 20-some seasons. Let's be honest, he's the hottest offensive coordinator in Division I football. I don't mean good looks. He's the most sought-after offensive coordinator, maybe good looks. He's the most sought-after offensive coordinator in Division I. I know that because at the end of every season, the worry was, who's going to come after Jeff now? And so our hope was that if we suggested that this day might come at some point, we might be able to hold on to Jeff, and I'm thrilled that this day has come. I can't imagine. We could do a national search. We could look across the entire country, around the world, and we would not find a better person to take over this program than Jeff Gallo. So I congratulate you, Jeff, on this incredible achievement, and I thank you, Kirsten, in advance for the ways in which you're going to support Monmouth University. And then let me just say one thing in closing. People ask me all the time, how does Monmouth do it? We're often much smaller than the teams that we face, than the schools that we face. Consequently, we're often under-resourced compared to other schools that we face, not only in football, but across all of our sports. And people will say, how are you as competitive as you are? And I always say this. I think it's because our student athletes play with a chip on their shoulder. And I think our coaches coach with a chip on their shoulder. And I'd like to think that we administrators administrate with a chip on our shoulder because of that. I have this belief, okay, that great people make great universities. And if that is true, then today, the transition from Kevin Callahan to Jeff Gallo is the best possible example of that statement. So I congratulate both you, Kevin, and you, Jeff, on this special day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Leahy. Thank you for those words. And at this time, I now please ask that you help me bring up to the podium the Director of Athletics here at Monmouth University, Jen Sansevero.
Even with heels on, I have to move it down a little bit. Thank you so much for being here, for those of you who are online and in person. Thank you, Dr. Leahy, for your continued commitment to athletics and your belief in what football means to this university, on the competitive surface, in the classroom, and throughout our community. Thank you. And I just want to thank a few people that are behind the scenes: our General Counsel's Office, Human Resources, Accounting and Finance, for their professionalism, discretion, and thoroughness to ensure we did this the right way and expeditiously moved through the process. We're here to celebrate you, Coach Cal, a man whose leadership, integrity, and vision have shaped this institution, like President Leahy said, for the last 33 years, 3 decades. A man who built Monmouth football, quite literally, from the ground up. A coach, a teacher, a mentor to many of you in the stands and from home, and a loyal steward to our university. Today we honor you as you announce your retirement from coaching, but we're not going to let you go too far. I don't think Anne-Marie would let you. I'm really looking forward to working with you in your new capacity as an advisor to the athletic administration. You have a legacy unlike any other. Coach Cal arrived in 1992 to build a football program that didn't even exist yet. There was no blueprint, no tradition to inherit, no guaranteed success. But what he did have was belief. Belief in what this place could become, belief in the kind of young men he wanted to develop, and belief in the power of doing things the right way. Over 30 years plus, Coach Callahan built Monmouth football from its very foundation, led the Hawks to multiple conference championships and FCS playoff appearances, coached countless all-conference professional football players and future professional football players. He has shaped generations of student athletes whose lives were forever changed because he taught them discipline, hard work, character, and most importantly, resilience. Statistics will always tell part of the story, but Coach Callahan's legacy is so much bigger than wins and records. His legacy is people. It's culture. It's the Monmouth way. You set the standard, Coach Cal. Every program has a foundation. Ours has Kevin Callahan's fingerprints all over it. He instilled a standard rooted in integrity, hard work, toughness, accountability, and above all else, team. You built a program where young men learned how to compete, how to grow, and how to carry themselves with pride. You created an environment where coaches could build careers and where student athletes could discover who they wanted to become. The Monmouth football brand is respected nationally for discipline, consistency, and doing things the right way is a direct reflection of its leadership. And what perhaps is the most remarkable, through every era of change, conference realignment, scholarship growth, the rise of FCS, facility enhancements, and now the modern era of NIL and revenue sharing, and the transfer portal, Coach Cal adapted, stayed grounded, and kept this program aligned with Monmouth's mission and values. You're a leader of people, Coach. And what I've heard consistently from alumni across decades, I think one of the coolest parts of this whole transition was getting on a Zoom last night with all of those alum, many of them here today, to hear how impactful you were and how valued you were in their lives and the men that they've become, the fathers they've become, the spouses they've become. And what I've heard consistently is, Coach Cal believed in me. He changed my life. He changed who I saw in myself and saw potential in me that I didn't know I had. That's the mark of a transformational leader. He leaves behind not just a program, but a legacy of wins and records and tough times. He leaves a legacy of fathers, husbands, professionals, community leaders, and proud Monmouth alumni. That is your true scoreboard, Coach. A moment of gratitude. Coach, on behalf of Monmouth University, our student athletes, our alumni, and everyone who has worn blue and white, you have our deepest gratitude. Thank you for believing in this place before it was easy to believe, for giving Monmouth football its identity, its culture, and its future. Representing this university with unwavering class and humility. And for giving 33 years of your life can't help it. I'm a Jersey Italian. And something that will endure long after today, Coach. To your wife, Anne-Marie, Kevin Jr., Julia, your family, and everyone who has supported you through countless seasons, thank you. Thank you for sharing your husband, your father, and your friend with us. This program is stronger because all of you. As we turn the page to a new chapter, we do so from a foundation that is strong, stable, and deeply rooted in Coach Callahan's work. The future of Monmouth football is bright, and it is bright because of the man we honor today. Coach Cal, Kevin, on behalf of Monmouth University, thank you. Thank you for your leadership, for your loyalty, for your example, and for your extraordinary legacy you leave behind. You will always be the founding father of Monmouth football. You will always be part of the Hawk family, and we will celebrate you, whether you want it or not, with pride, gratitude, and admiration. And now, we're going to reflect on some moments that have shaped Monmouth football and defined your incredible legacy.
What matters tonight is that we play better in the 3 hours that we get out on that field.
I just want to tell you this, the way that we hung with it, the way that you kept believing, the way that you kept playing. I don't know if I've ever been part of a game like that. You've worked long and hard for this. You deserve it. Yes, couldn't be happier for you.
At Monmouth University in West Long Branch, New Jersey. Coach Kevin Callahan's squad came back with a big win last week.
I couldn't be happier for you guys. could be proud of the way we finished.
A lot more football to be played, man.
Take that, now we get ready for CAA play. Let's go. 1-0 this week, man. Good job.
Tomorrow at 12:30, we find out where we go. We might find out.
On field of play we'll triumph, when we're put to the test. The Hawks will go with sword, victors are the rest. Fight for dear old Monmouth, we ride the Blue Express. Go Hawks, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our extraordinary coach as he steps down from coaching, Coach Kevin Callahan.
Thank you. When you're sitting in the front row, you don't realize there's so many people here until you get up to the microphone. But good afternoon, and thank all of you. And, you know, I guess the day has arrived. It's been 34 years of early mornings, late nights, countless games and challenges, but now it's time. It's time for me to step away, to refocus, and to attack new challenges with the same determination, the same energy that has carried me for the last 34 years here at Monmouth. You know, first and foremost, I want to thank my incredible family, Anne-Marie, Kevin and Christina, Julia and Nolan. You've been a tremendous support system for me for all these years. Together, we've celebrated successes, weathered challenges, and always somehow managed to keep the train on the tracks. You allowed me to do what I do at the expense of your own plans. My calendar became your calendar. Vacations could only happen in certain weeks of the year. Weddings were limited to specific months of the year. Our weeks in the fall were determined by whether we were home and away. And my problems became your problems. And for that, I thank you. And I thank you for allowing me to never grow up, to be a kid for all these years. To the administration here at Monmouth, especially Dr. Leahy, Athletics Director Jen Sansevero, and former directors Jeff Stapleton and Marilyn McNeil, I thank you for your trust in me and your partnership. You know, the challenges that you faced, I faced, and they pushed us all to be innovative and to excel. To the entire Monmouth Athletic Department, thank you for your endless support, both on and off the field. Groups that kept our team healthy. They made sure that we were well equipped. They made sure that we were strong enough to compete. That they made sure that we excelled in the classroom, all while maintaining a presence on the national stage. I thank all of you. I also want to acknowledge the many staff members who were vital to the success of our operations here. You put us in the national headlines week after week. And of course, the entire Monmouth community, I just want to thank all of you for your continued support as our program grew. To the godfather of Monmouth football, Donald Burniford. the person who, along with John and Henny Kessler, hatched the idea of creating football here at Monmouth. It's been a great run, and Don, I thank you for your friendship and guidance over the years. So thank you very much, Don. And to the hundreds of players that I've been fortunate enough to lead over the years, I'm so proud of what we were able to accomplish together. From that very first win on October 2nd of 1993 to the dominant victory over Villanova in September of 2025, we always strive for excellence, and we need to continue to do that. And as I have told many people many times, the best part of my day for the past 30-plus years has been the time that I spend on the field with each one of you. That's what I really enjoy. That's the part of this that I will truly miss. And most importantly, to all of my assistant coaches, you're all here today. And over the years, I've been fortunate to have been surrounded by not just great football minds, but great people. It's a true testament to Monmouth football to witness your never-ending dedication, the loyalty of these men and their families. I'm not sure how many of you realize just how much time they spend recruiting, establishing relationships with our players, and caring for our players. So to all of my current and former assistant coaches, I say thank you. And I'd just like to take a few minutes to talk about the growth of the Monmouth football program. It wasn't always what it is today. 34 years is a long time, but I still remember the day I returned home in Hamilton, New York from my office at Colgate, and taped on the refrigerator was an article from the Asbury Park Press sent by Anne Marie's mother, announcing that Monmouth College at the time was going to start football, and they were looking for a coach. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have ever been to Hamilton, New York. Obviously, some of the players have, but I can tell you this, the Jersey Shore is a lot more appealing than Hamilton, New York. And when I arrived on campus in September of 1992, there was no field, no stadium, no equipment, and most of all, there was no players. Soon we began competing in the Northeast Conference, and we developed fierce rivalries with schools like Robert Morris and Wagner. Our next step took us to the Big South and saw us perform against fully funded scholarship programs, even though we weren't at the time, and achieve success winning back-to-back championships in the conference. Then our next stop is where we are today, the CAA, a conference that represents the pinnacle of competitiveness, and as many of you have witnessed, produced an ultra-successful 2025 season. People often ask me, Coach, during your time at Monmouth, what has been or what was the most memorable game you've played in? And that's really a hard question because there's so many choices. From the miracle in Moon Township to the championships at Albany to winning at Colgate and at Villanova in the very early years, to beating Kennesaw 2 consecutive years for the Big South Championship, and to our first ever FBS win over Florida International. But as I think back, I would have to say that the very first win against St. Peter's may be the best one that we've ever had. And it's because of how it transpired. It was the third game of the 1993 season. We were playing St. Peter's at home. It had rained the entire week before and the field was muddy. We found ourselves behind by 15 points with 9 minutes to go. And we put together this fast and furious comeback. We trailed by 1 point with 16 seconds left in the game. We had 4th and goal from the 6-yard line going in. Now, conventional wisdom says, well, you bring out the field goal kicker and you kick and you get a walk-off and you win. St. Peter's took a timeout, so we had time to think about what we were going to do. Well, we talked through that entire timeout, and then we had to call a timeout of our own after that because we were still talking about what the decision would be. You see, we had a kicker in name only. He was a person who kicked, but wasn't really what I would call a kicker. And it wasn't an easy decision. So finally, I had to make the executive decision. We were going to kick the field goal. And as we sent the field goal team out onto the field, I patted the kicker on the back and I said, "You're going to be fine." And as I did that, I took the headset off. I walked to the opposite end of the field where we were kicking. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to say to this young man when he misses? What am I going to say to everybody when he misses? And so the snap comes back, the kick goes up, and he kicked a spiral. Now, any of you that know anything about football know it's almost impossible to kick a spiral. And if this was the crossbar in the right upright, the ball didn't touch the crossbar, but it barely made it over and just fell straight down. The kick was good. We win the game 44-42 and got our first ever victory against St. Peter's. And honestly, that may be the best one that we ever had. As the field goal unit comes off the field and he comes running off and he's so excited, I went up and gave him a big hug and said, "I knew you were going to make it." That lesson in moments like that, that's why we coach. And in closing, I leave this position extremely excited about the future of Monmouth football. I know that it's in extremely capable hands, the hands of Jeff and his family, Kirsten, Rocco, and Marin, and the future is bright. And I would just say to you, Jeff, keep pushing the boundaries, keep pushing it to the limit, continue to support the players and the staff, and continue to win. And finally, I just want to thank all of you for a great 34 years. They've been both remarkable and unforgettable. Thank you very much.
One more round of applause for Coach Callahan. Coach, I won't tell anyone what's in that box. What a special day, what a special place, and what a special moment for Monmouth football. Thank you for being here on what truly is a transformational day. Moments like this, like Dr. Leahy said, with all of the changes, all of the coaching shifts and the carousel, to have a coach for 33 years really doesn't happen very often. Moments when a school and a program can honor its past, stand confidently in its present, and step boldly into its future. Today is one of those moments, and it's my privilege to announce Jeff Gallo as our next head football coach here at Monmouth University. Because of the strength of the legacy that Coach Cal built, we weren't searching for somebody to reinvent Monmouth football. we were searching for somebody to elevate it. And we have definitely found that leader. Jeff is the right leader right now, at the right time. From our very first conversation in this process, Jeff distinguished himself with clarity, conviction, passion, and unmistakable belief in what Monmouth football can be. He understands who we are, who we recruit, how we compete, and what it takes to win in the CAA, one of the most competitive conferences in FCS football. Jeff brings a rare combination of football intelligence, authenticity, and emotional leadership. He's a connector, a teacher, a motivator, and a builder. He's a coach who develops the whole student athlete. He understands the modern recruiting and the realities of NIL and the transfer portal. He commands a room with his belief and passion. He leads with fierce commitment to discipline, accountability, and connection. What impressed me most was not just Jeff's football mind, it's his vision. A vision grounded in our values, but energized with urgency, innovation, and an unmistakable hunger to push this program higher. He doesn't want to just compete in the CAA. He wants to set a new standard for Monmouth football. He's a leader who knows this place. It's in his DNA. Jeff Gallo doesn't need a tour of the campus. He doesn't need a crash course in our history or culture. He's lived it. He's coached in this program. He's recruited for this program. He has built relationships with our players, our alumni, our parents, and our community. And because he knows exactly what Monmouth stands for, he is perfectly poised and positioned to lead us forward with confidence and continuity. This is not a rebuild. I told you fellas that yesterday. This is not a reset. This is an ascension. To our student athletes, I know we spoke yesterday, but to the young men in our program, you deserve clarity, stability, and a leader who believes deeply in your potential. You have that in Coach Gallo. He will push you. He will support you. He's going to challenge you and prepare you, not just to win games like Coach Cal, but to become the kind of leaders this world needs. You are the heartbeat of Monmouth football, and Coach Gallo is ready to lead you in our next chapter. A message to our alumni, supporters, and the Monmouth community. Your belief in this program is powerful. And with Jeff stepping into this role, we are building on strength. We will continue to uphold the values that define Monmouth. We win with integrity. We lead with character. We develop people. And we compete relentlessly. Coach Gallo is aligned with that mission. He's fueled by it. And he will represent this university with pride every day. The future begins now. Today, we honor our past, we celebrate our present, and we step boldly into our future of Monmouth football. And that future is bright because it will be led by a man who embodies everything this place is and everything it stands for. And it's my tremendous honor to officially introduce our next head football coach of Monmouth University. And as I welcome you to the podium, I also welcome the new era of Monmouth football.
Thank you. This is why Monmouth. The people make places, and this is why you do it. You have events like this. Coach Cal has built this. Our alumni are here. Our coaches are here. The athletic department's here. The university's here. The president is here. This is why Monmouth. There's not many schools in the country who have this, and I understand that, and I love this. So I'm incredibly excited. I want to first thank President Leahy and Jen Zensevero, our athletic director. Thank you for trusting me with this. I know how big of a job it is, and I'm so excited to get started with it. To my family, and you're going to see them around all the time because football is something you live in. It is a lifestyle. And my wife Kirsten, my son Rocco, my daughter Mary, my whole family is here, and you're going to see them. I believe in family, and that's what I've learned here. So they're going to be running around, shooting hoops, on the field. They're going to be around. We're going to be always here in the community. I want to thank Coach Cal, and that's the biggest one in the football life I've had. And a good story, I told this to the alumni last night. And Coach Cal recruited me. It's January of 2000. I'm sitting in my house. My parents are away on a business trip. My aunt is watching me. Coach Cal's coming to do a home visit. And he comes in, and that's a big deal. You have a head coach come to do a home visit. It's a big deal. I'm really excited about it. And he's sitting down. My aunt was upstairs but listening the whole time. And they're he's telling me why Monmouth. And the whole time I'm like, this guy has a plan. Coach Cal has a plan. I could see that. And it involved me. And I knew that, right, this guy has a plan. It involved me. And I was really into it. And as he finished, I just hear my aunt yell down, "Don't sign anything right now." And I started laughing, and then fast forward to 2010, we're at my wedding, and we have a big circle. A bunch of my buddies who were there, we have a big circle, everyone's dancing in the circle, and that same aunt comes walking out in the middle of the dance floor, and she's much older now. And Coach Cal goes running out and starts dancing with her. And those are the things that are different here. Those kind of experiences that have really shaped me and the full circle of it, from being a player here, and I've been fortunate to see both sides of it, from a player here and a coach here, of how you handle people in situations. Whether it be a hard situation or things you walk into, how you lead with compassion and honesty. And that's the biggest thing I've taken away. I've been fortunate to have such a close, in-person look at how you handle people. And people make places. And that's a huge part for me. And the other people here today, one, our players who are here. And that's awesome. All of our players here, I want you guys to have the same experience I had. I loved it here. It's really shaped my life. And that's how I see you guys. We're going to push you. We're going to work really hard, but we're going to enjoy it, right? You can do two things in life. You can work really hard, and you can have joy in it. And we're going to do those things. And so I'm so excited to get to coach you, and I'm honored for the opportunity to do it. And there's a lot of work ahead, but I've seen how great it can be when it's done well. And that's what we're going to shoot for. And then for our alumni, a lot of guys I've played with or I've coached, it's awesome to see you here. You've been a huge part of this program, and that's where we're different. And that's really a differentiator. Is most programs have had multiple head coaches in the last X amount of years. This guy played for so-and-so. He played for so-and-so. Everyone here has played for Coach Cal. Everyone here comes right to one lineage. It's so connected, and there's power in that, and it's different. And we're going to keep building on that power. And having you guys around, having you involved is huge to the success of our program. And then our coaching staff, the guys I've worked with, we have an incredible coaching staff here. The success we've had is because of our players and our staff. We've had some great continuity, and that continuity allows us to be innovative, to be flexible, to adjust. Times change, schemes change, but if you have that connection, that continuity with your staff and your players, you can adjust. And you can take advantage of opportunities that arise. Challenges become opportunities. And that's what we're going to continue to do here, is build out our players and our staffs. As the challenges that arise, we're going to see them as opportunities. It's as simple as that. All right? And so why Monmouth? It's this. It's the people. It's the players. It's the coaches. It's the family. It's the alumni. It's all this. It's the location. This is a great place to live and bring your family to. It's a great campus. There's great people here. Again, this is special, and it's about being out in the community, letting them see how great this place is. I came up here when I was in high school with my mother, and she was like, whoa, we didn't want to go anywhere else. And so I want people to be here. We're going to be out in the community. We want people here to see how special this place is, this university, this athletic department, the people here. We want people here, all right? Because once you come here, like, wow, this is a great experience. And it's as simple as that. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep on showing you, we're going to over-deliver what you expect. I want people to walk away from this always feeling like they got more than they expected coming into it. And that's what we're going to be about, right? So that's why Monmouth. And now where we're going to try to go is what the goals. The goals will not change. You know, Coach Cal has incredibly high standards, right? He sets great goals. Our goals won't change. Our goals are going to be to win the CA championship. That is our fundamental goal. While we're doing that, we're going to develop men academically, socially, right, to be able to take on the world, to become leaders. But our goal is to win a CA championship while developing men academically, athletically, and socially. Simple as that, right? Having a private university that can compete on a national scale. I'll say it again, having a private university that can compete on a national scale. That is our goal, right? Simple as that. And we're going to focus, and when we say this, and the biggest things, we're going to focus on doing things champions do. We're not going to focus on talking about winning championships. We're going to do things every day that champions do, right? That's what we believe in, and that's where you get your success at. So every day we show up, we're going to focus, hey, how do we do things champions do? If we do that every day, we're going to stack our days and have success. And we're going to control our destiny, because all we're trying to do at the end of the day is control our destiny, right? And find ways we can be creative and thrive in a changing world, right? When we see challenges, see them as opportunities. And then as long as we're prepared, we're going to take those opportunities that arise. So that's fundamentally what we're going to be about. And we're going to be built the way we've always built it, with great players, talent, recruit, develop, utilize. And that goes two ways. We're going to be high school driven still. We're going to live in this Northeast. This is a great location for prospects. This quarter right here, there's great players, great schools. All right, so we're going to keep building it out of that. We're going to build it through the high school, recruit, develop, utilize players in our program. Right, simple as that. Yes, we'll use the portal as well to replace. But everyone who comes in this program is going to fit the exact criteria athletically, academically, socially. They're going to be great people for this program, for the school, for the university, for the community. And they're going to represent us incredibly well. And they're going to be driven and disciplined to get a great education while chasing championships. It's as simple as that. All right? And as we say, going forward, the biggest thing is we want to build off Coach Cal set an incredible foundation here. And now it's for us to build off it, to springboard off it. It's as simple as that, to springboard off of what he's built and continue to make this university proud. Right, through our everyday work and our focus on trying to elevate the standard. Right, the standard was set, and now we want to elevate even higher and every day and work towards a championship level. So one, I'm incredibly excited and honored to be named the head coach, the next head coach at Monmouth University. I look forward to just getting started. I'm so excited to get started with our players, with our staff, to have my family here constantly and be involved in this community and having the community back with us. And like I said, it's a great day to be a Hawk, and in this whole deal, we're just getting started. So one, thank you very much. All right, thank you, Ms. A.D. Jensen-Severo. Thank you, President Leahy, and Coach Cal. I can't say enough things. Thank you very much. I'm incredibly indebted. Thank you very much, guys. Go Hawks.
We'd like to formally introduce Jeff Gallo as our next head coach with his new official jersey.
That doesn't fit me. I'm finally a skill guy.
But there's a unique number on this jersey, number 2, because he's the second head coach in Monmouth University history.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. 33 years to go, Jeff.
33 years, yeah. Great. Thank you. Congrats.
It is going to be interesting to watch former linemen wear the single digit, right? That's pretty cool. On behalf of everyone that you've heard speak today, please allow me to again thank all of you for attending, both here in person and on our live stream. As we wrap up, I do want to invite everyone here in attendance to please join us in the Hall of Fame Lounge up on the second level for a brief reception after the program. And in closing, as a proud alum, I can say everyone is incredibly excited about the future of Monmouth football under Jeff Gallo. As we look ahead, I do want to take one final moment to draw attention to something that Coach Callahan said, and it was a quote in the press release for today's announcement. In that quote, Coach thanked everyone who has been a part of his journey and had a hand in his success. But Coach, on behalf of everyone here and everyone watching, the countless people that you've worked with and coached and people that you've inspired, allow me to be the one to say what they all want to say. Thank you, Coach Callahan, and thank you all for coming. Thank you. Let's go upstairs.